Chicago. Busy restaurant, fancy place, white tablecloths, crystal glasses, live jazz band playing, every table full. Wealthy people, important people, politicians, businessmen, celebrities. But one table draws all attention. Corner booth, private, guarded. Two men sitting, talking, laughing. One man everyone recognizes immediately. Babe Ruth, baseball legend, most famous athlete in America, wearing expensive suit, smoking cigar, smiling wide. Other man also famous, but different kind of famous. Al Capone, most powerful gangster in Chicago, maybe most powerful gangster in America. Controls bootlegging, controls gambling, controls entire city. Also wearing expensive suit, also smoking cigar, also smiling. They look like old friends, comfortable together, joking, telling stories, sharing meal. Two, casual observer. Just two successful men enjoying dinner. But people in restaurant nervous, whispering, some excited, some scared. Because this friendship is dangerous, very dangerous, for both men, but especially for Ruth. He just doesn't know it yet. Their friendship started years ago. Ruth was playing baseball in Chicago. After game, went to club. Capone owned the club, sent message. "Mr. Ruth, would you join me for drink?" Ruth said yes. Why not? Capone seemed friendly, polite, generous. They talked about baseball, about Chicago, about life. Capone was charming, funny, good conversationalist. Ruth enjoyed evening. When leaving, Capone said, "Anytime you're in Chicago, you're my guest. Anything you need, you ask me." Ruth thanked him, thought it was just hospitality, just one successful man being kind to another. Didn't think deeper than that. But should have. Because Capone didn't offer friendship to random people. He offered it strategically. Being friends with Babe Ruth meant legitimacy, meant respectability, meant newspapers would write about gangster hanging out with beloved baseball hero. Made Capone seem normal, human, not criminal, just sports fan who happened to be successful businessman. Ruth didn't understand this. Ruth saw friendship as friendship, simple, pure. Someone was kind to him. He was kind back. That's how Ruth operated. No complexity, no hidden motives, just genuine human connection. FBI saw differently. They were watching Capone closely, building case against him, documenting everything, everyone he met, everyone he talked to, everyone he did business with. And when they saw Babe Ruth meeting with Capone repeatedly, alarm bells rang. FBI, Director J. M. Edgar Hoover personally reviewed reports called Meeting with Agents. Ruth is meeting with Capone regularly, in public, in private, at restaurants, at clubs, at Capone's home. This is problem. Agent asks, "Why is it problem? Ruth isn't criminal. He's just baseball player." Exactly. He's just baseball player. Innocent, famous, beloved. And Capone is using him, using his reputation, using his fame. Makes Capone look legitimate. Makes people think, if Babe Ruth is friends with Capone, maybe Capone isn't so bad. That's dangerous. What do? We warn Ruth. Explain who Capone really is. Explain the danger. Make him understand he's being used. FBI sends agent to New York, to Yankees Stadium. Requests meeting with Ruth, private, urgent. Ruth agrees, curious, confused. Why does FBI want to talk to him? Meeting happens in Yankees' office. Agent introduces himself, shows credentials. Ruth still confused. "Am I in trouble?" "No, Mr. Ruth, you're not in trouble. But we need to discuss something important. Al Capone." Ruth's face lights up. "Al, great guy. One of my best friends in Chicago. Always treats me well. Always." Agent interrupts. "Mr. Ruth, do you know what Al Capone does for living? He owns clubs, restaurants, businesses. He's gangster, criminal. He runs illegal operations, bootlegging, gambling, extortion, violence. He's killed people, Mr. Ruth, or ordered people killed. He's not businessman, he's criminal." Ruth laughs. Not mean laugh, genuine laugh. "That's crazy. Al, no way. He's generous, kind, funny, takes care of people, helps community. He helps community with money earned through crime, through hurting people, through breaking law. I don't believe it. You're wrong about him." Agent pulls out folder, thick folder, opens it, shows Ruth. These are FBI files, documented crimes, witnesses, evidence. Al Capone is dangerous, man, and your friendship with him is being used. He uses your fame to legitimize himself, to make people think he's respectable. Ruth looks at papers, doesn't read them carefully, just glances, pushes folder away. I don't care what papers say. I know Al. He's been good friend to me. Never asked me for anything. Never tried to use me, just treated me with respect. That's all I need to know. Agent frustrated. Mr. Ruth, this association is dangerous. For your career, for your reputation, for baseball itself. Commissioner Landis is watching. If you continue being seen with Capone, there could be consequences. What kind of consequences? Suspension, maybe expulsion from baseball. Landis has done it before. Kicked out players for associating with gamblers. Capone is worse than gambler, much worse. Ruth stands, angry now. You're telling me I can't choose my own friends? I can't talk to people I like because FBI says they're bad? That's not America. That's not freedom. We're not ordering you. We're warning you. This friendship will hurt you. Please consider meeting over. Thank you for coming. Agent leaves, defeated, reports back to Hoover. Ruth refused to listen, defended Capone, called him friend, wouldn't even look at evidence. Hoover not surprised. Ruth is naive, sees good in everyone, doesn't understand how world really works. Keep watching, document everything. When this blows up, we'll have evidence. Ruth tells Claire about meeting. She's concerned. Babe, maybe FBI is right. Maybe you should be careful with Capone. Why? He's never done anything to me. Never asked me for favors, just been good friend. But if what FBI says is true, I don't care what FBI says. I judge people by how they treat me. Al treats me well. That's enough. Claire doesn't push. Knows when Ruth makes up mind, nothing changes it. But she's worried, very worried, because she understands what Ruth doesn't, that in public eye, association matters, that being friends with gangster makes you look like gangster. Even if you're innocent, even if you're naive, doesn't matter. Perception is reality. Next time Ruth in Chicago, he meets Capone again. Same restaurant, same corner booth. But this time, more tension. Ruth notices. Al, FBI came to see me. Capone doesn't react, just nods. I know, they came to see me too. Told you to stay away from me? Yes. And what did you say? I said you're my friend. FBI doesn't choose my friends. Capone smiles, but different smile, sad smile, grateful smile. Babe, you're good man, too good. FBI is right, you know. Ruth surprised. What? I'm not good person. I've done bad things you can't imagine, things I'm not proud of. FBI is right to warn you. But you've been good to me because I like you, because you're genuine, because in a world full of liars and users, you're real. You treat everyone same, rich or poor, famous or nobody. You're same person. I respect that. I admire that. So we're friends? Yes, but FBI is also right. Being seen with me hurts you. And I don't want to hurt you. I don't care what people think. You should. You're Babe Ruth. You're hero to millions. Kids look up to you. Families love you. You represent something pure, something good. I represent opposite. If people think we're too close, they'll stop trusting you. They'll think you're like me, and you're not. You're nothing like me. Ruth quiet, processing, never thought about it this way. What should I do? Stop visiting me publicly. Stop being seen with me. For your sake, for baseball's sake. But that means we can't be friends. We can still be friends, just privately, away from cameras, away from newspapers. I'll always be your friend, babe, but I'll be friend from distance, because that's what's best for you. Ruth feels torn, loyalty pulling one way, logic pulling other. I don't like this. I know, but it's necessary. They shake hands, leave separately. Ruth goes back to hotel, feels conflicted, sad, losing friend, but also understanding maybe for first time that friendship has complications, that being loyal sometimes means making hard choices. Meanwhile, newspapers getting suspicious, sports writers asking questions. Ruth, you spend a lot of time in Chicago. What do you do there? Visit friends. What friends? Just friends, personal business. We've heard you're seen with Al Capone. Is that true? I know Mr. Capone. He's been hospitable. Are you friends with Gangster? I'm friends with people who treat me well, that's all. Articles start appearing. Babe Ruth's dangerous friendship. Baseball hero. Associates with criminal. Is Ruth being used by mob? Commissioner Landis reads articles. Calls Yankees management. We need to discuss Ruth's situation. Meeting scheduled, Landis, Yankees owner, Yankees manager. Ruth called in, sits down, knows this is serious. Landis speaks. Babe, I'm going to be direct. Your association with Al Capone is creating problems. For you, for Yankees, for baseball. I'm not doing anything illegal. I didn't say you were, but perception matters. Baseball's reputation matters. After Black Sox scandal, we can't afford any association with criminals. Any at all. I'm not gambling, not fixing games, just having dinner with friend. Friend who happens to be most notorious gangster in America. Friend who profits from illegal activities. Friend who FBI is investigating for murder. He's never asked me to do anything wrong. Never involved me in his business. Just been kind to me. Doesn't matter. Public sees you together. All public thinks, maybe Ruth is involved in something. Maybe baseball is corrupt. That perception alone is damaging. So what are you saying? I'm saying you need to end this friendship, publicly, make statement, distance yourself, or face consequences. What consequences? Suspension, possibly permanent. I've expelled players for less, you know this. Ruth feels trapped, angry, frustrated, but also scared. Baseball is his life, only thing he knows how to do. Can't lose it, not for friendship, not for anything. I'll think about it. Don't think too long, decision needs to be made soon. Ruth leaves meeting, devastated, goes to Claire. They're forcing me to choose, Capone or baseball. Claire takes his hand. Then choose baseball, babe. You know you have to. But that's betrayal. Al has been good to me. I can't just abandon him. You're not abandoning him. You're protecting yourself, protecting your career. Al himself told you this friendship hurts you. He knows. He understands. He'd want you to choose baseball. How do I do it? How do I just cut someone off? You don't cut him off. You just stop being public about it, like he suggested. Be friend privately, not publicly. Ruth thinks, realizes she's right, realizes everyone is right. His loyalty is admirable, but also naive, also dangerous. Next day, Ruth releases statement through Yankees. I have enjoyed visiting Chicago and meeting many interesting people there. However, I understand that some of my associations have created concern. I want to make clear, I am a baseball player. My loyalty is to game, to fans, to integrity of sport. Moving forward, I will be more careful about public appearances and associations. Baseball comes first, always. Statement is vague, doesn't mention Capone by name, but everyone knows what it means. Newspapers report, Ruth distances himself from Capone. Baseball star, ends controversial friendship. Ruth chooses career over gangster association. Capone reads articles, not angry, not hurt. Expected this, understands this, actually relieved, because he genuinely liked Ruth, didn't want to hurt him, didn't want to damage his career, but also knows that's what would have happened if friendship continued. Better to end it now, cleanly, before real damage done. He sends Ruth message, through intermediary, not written, just verbal. Tell babe I understand, tell him no hard feelings. Tell him he made right choice. Tell him I'm still his friend. Just from distance now. Ruth receives message, feels relieved, sad but relieved. At least ending was clean. No betrayal, no anger. Just mutual understanding that sometimes friendship has to change. Sometimes loyalty means letting go. Years pass. Ruth never sees Capone again. Not publicly, not privately. Completely cuts ties. Focuses on baseball, on family, on legitimate life. Capone goes to prison, tax evasion, FBI finally gets him. Not for violence, not for bootlegging, for taxes. Ironic. All his crimes, all his power, taken down by paperwork. Ruth hears news, feels conflicted. Part of him sad, friend going to prison. Part of him relieved, means friendship truly over. No more temptation, no more complications, no more danger. Reporters ask Ruth about it. Babe, Al Capone sentenced to prison. Oh, any comment? I hope he finds peace. Do you regret being friends with him? Ruth pauses, thinks carefully. I don't regret knowing him. He showed me kindness when others didn't. But I learned important lesson. That good person can still make bad choices. That being loyal to friend doesn't mean being blind to reality. FB, I was right. Commissioner was right. Claire was right. Association mattered. I was naive to think it didn't. Would you do it differently? Yes, I'd be smarter about who I'm seen with publicly. More careful about how friendships look to outside world. Not because I'd stop being loyal, but because I'd understand consequences better. Do you think Capone used you? Maybe, probably. But I also think he genuinely liked me. I think both things were true. He liked me and used my reputation. People are complicated. That's a friendship is complicated. I understand that now. Later, Claire asks him privately, do you really believe Capone liked you? Or was it all manipulation? Ruth thinks. I think he liked me as much as person like him could like anyone. He lived in a world of betrayal, of violence, of using people. But I was different. I didn't want anything from him, didn't fear him, didn't try to use him. Just treated him like regular person. I think that was rare for him, maybe even precious. So, yes, I think he liked me, in his own way. Years later, Ruth tells story to young baseball players. Teaching moment. I learned something important. You can't separate yourself from your associations. If you're friends with criminals, people think you're criminal, even if you're not. Even if you're innocent. Doesn't matter. Perception becomes reality. So choose friends carefully, not just because of what they do to you, but because of what association with them does to your reputation. Because reputation is fragile, takes years to build, takes minutes to destroy. One player asks, but wasn't loyalty important? Isn't standing by friends what good people do? Yes, loyalty is important, but wisdom is also important. Sometimes being loyal to a bad person makes you complicit in their badness, even if you don't participate, even if you don't know details, just being there, just being associated, that's enough to damage you. I learned that hard way. Nearly cost me career, nearly cost me everything I worked for, all because I was too loyal, too naive, too trusting. Another player. So what should we do if we find out friend is bad person? Distance yourself, quickly, clearly. Don't make excuses, don't defend them, just step away. It's hard. It feels like betrayal, but it's not. It's survival, it's protection. For yourself and for everyone who depends on you. Wise words, hard-earned wisdom. From man who learned lesson nearly too late. FBI agents who warned Ruth C. article about his comments. One of them, now retired, tells colleague, remember Ruth? Remember warning him about Capone? Yes, he didn't listen. He did eventually, just took time. Took him nearly losing everything to understand. But he got there. Think he would have listened if we'd approached differently? Maybe, maybe not. Some people have to learn through experience. Have to touch fire to know it burns. Ruth was like that. Good heart, naive mind, needed to learn hard way. At least he learned, yes, and now he's teaching others. One that's worth something, turning mistake into lesson. That's real growth. Capone dies years later, in prison, ill, broken, shadow of former self. Ruth hears news, feels sadness, not for gangster, for person he knew, for man who showed him kindness, for complicated human being who lived complicated life. He says prayer, not public, private, just quiet moment of respect, for friendship that existed, for man who, despite everything, treated him well, then moves on, because that's all you can do. Learn from past, honor what was good, learn from what was bad, then keep living, keep growing, keep being better. That friendship taught Ruth more than baseball ever could. Taught him about perception, about association, about how world really works, about difference between being good person and being wise person. Both matter, both necessary. A good person without wisdom is dangerous. Wisdom without goodness is empty. Ruth learned to balance both, to keep good heart, but protect it with wise choices. That lesson served him rest of his life, made him better man, better husband, better role model, made him understand that sometimes hardest choice is right choice. Sometimes loyalty means letting go. Sometimes protecting yourself means disappointing friend. But that's life. That's growth. That's maturity. Ruth eventually became known not just as great baseball player, but as wise man, man who learned from mistakes, man who admitted when wrong, man who taught others from his own failures. That legacy, in many ways, more valuable than any home run record, because anyone can hit baseball. Not everyone can admit mistake. Not everyone can learn from pain. Not everyone can turn failure into teaching moment. Ruth did all three, and that made him not just great player, but great human being. Final lesson. Ruth taught, world judges you by company you keep. Fair or unfair, that's reality. So keep company that lifts you up. Keep company that shares your values. Keep company that makes you a better person. Don't keep company just because they're nice to you. Don't keep company just because they're powerful. Don't keep company just because they're exciting. Keep company that helps you become who you want to be, not who they want you to be. Young players listened, absorbed, learned from man who paid price for this lesson, man who nearly lost everything because he was too loyal to wrong person, man who came back stronger, wiser, better. That's real legacy, not just baseball stats, but life lessons. Like hard-earned, honestly shared, genuinely helpful. And all because of friendship with Gangster that almost destroyed him, but instead taught him, transformed him, made him into man who could teach others. Sometimes hardest experiences create best lessons. Sometimes biggest mistakes lead to greatest wisdom. Sometimes most dangerous friendships teach most valuable truths. Ruth's friendship with Capone was all three. Dangerous, mistake, but ultimately valuable, because it taught him, and through him, taught millions of others about loyalty, about wisdom, about making hard choices, about living with consequences, about growing from failure. That's legacy worth having. That's lesson worth learning. That's story worth telling. If this story taught you something about loyalty and wisdom, please subscribe for more incredible moments from baseball history. And comment below, have you ever had to choose between loyalty to a friend and protecting yourself? How did you handle it? Share your experience.